Hydration can be identified, or I should say dehydration can be monitored by either looking at a change in body weight, urine color, or urine-specific gravity. Urine-specific gravity is evaluated by using a tool, which most people, I think a hydrometer, but most people don't have that. But it's often used by using sticks from a pharmacy that is for urine-specific gravity. It matches the color to the specific gravity, and you also dip the stick into the urine, let it sit pull it out, let it sit for a specific amount of time, and then you read it next to a standard, which is on the bottle itself. So we know that the change in percent body weight is probably the easiest way of evaluating hydration status, with looking at a percent change in mass. And we also can look at the urine color as it becomes deeper in color or more between a very pale color to a dark brown color. The recommendations for water intake are identified by the amount that is consumed in food versus the amount that is sipped from beverages. And so the beverage is typically what we evaluate in terms of volume, and if you have a male over the age of 19, that's approximately 3 liters per day. A female over the age of 19, about 2.2 liters per day. That's by beverages, assuming that you have an intake associated with solid foods, fruit, vegetables, etc. With those two added together, you get a liter per day of total water. You can estimate an athlete's needs by evaluating their caloric intake, and 1 ml of water is 1 kcal expended. So if you looked at a 2,000 calorie diet, that would be 2,000 milliliters of water, and you can make that transition or calculation into cups to make it easier. But you also need to include the amount of water that's lost due to sweating, and that's 2 to 3 cups for every pound lost during a workout or competition. We can get our fluid sources of water from a variety of options. Each option offers different benefits. Some individuals will do better with milk. Others will say, I don't want to drink milk because it's too phlegmy. So we want to take into consideration what the individual likes in terms of palatable, it tasting well, and also what they will consume to make sure that they do get the appropriate amount of fluid in their diet. This shows you the amount of water that is in different sources of fluid or different sources of food. We'll see that vegetables and fruits are going to have the highest water content, with lettuce, orange, and potato being demonstrated in this figure. And moving to the right, you'll see that there is some fluid because of muscle content of chicken and beef. But when we get over to dried grains, there's very little. But when you look at cereal, people will often submerge it in fluid in terms of milk or plant-based milk, even though it's not a plant-based milk, a plant-based beverage. To stay hydrated, we want to make sure we're aware the athlete knows what amount they should be consuming. We should have a urination of approximately every 2 hours for ideal hydration, so someone every couple hours will need to urinate. The color should be pale, and we should also have a variety of sources, and we should spread that out through the day. It should not be consumed all at once. We want to spread it out so you have that urination throughout the day. Caffeinated beverages do contribute to your hydration level, but there is also a diuretic effect that goes along with caffeinated beverages. We want to limit the alcohol content because that also has a diuretic component. Having an a real high protein consumption is going to increase the level or the fluid requirements, so we don't want to have an excessive amount of protein for numerous reasons. And also be aware of the medications that a person might be on that might influence hydration levels.